Welcome to Jeff from Markham 3D. I'm looking up there. Welcome back. What am I looking after? Bring up Restream chat just in case people come over and want to have a chat. We're going to continue on with creating the wonderful car here, doing a little bit more elements in the scene, because that stuff needs to be done. I'm putting a back burner on the animation point, and I will explain that a little bit later once there's a few more people in. So let's continue on with creating this. So I got a problem at the moment where last week my motherboard died on my main computer, so I've had to revert to my old computer, which is very unfortunate. Now, however, if I jump back into rendered mode, technically things should be broken. Yes, they are. However, all these materials are from Extreme PBR Combo. Luckily enough, I've had everything re-downloaded. I just got to repoint everything. So if you ever get pink stuff, but you know where the textures are, you can go File, External Data. It is. File, External Data, Find Missing Files. And then from here, what we can do is we can go into where we know our files are. So I know mine are in Blender 2.8, Material Library. I'm going to click on the Extreme PBR Library, find missing things, and then it's just going to freeze for a little bit as it searches for all these materials. If you can hear me. Or if you can hear me, just send me a message or something. Just make sure it's all working. But yeah, so we're going to continue on working with this car. I kind of want to build the interior, although it's not that important. I did find this weird little trick that I'm going to try and do on the car with curves, and it was just this weird little, Hickabotham. Let's just call it that. Where we'll try that on the car as well. What else? We'll probably, towards later in the night, we'll work on the garage and start putting a few more pieces in, bringing that a little bit more to life. And we'll just go from there in general. While this is continually thinking, so what it's done is it's going through that massive library of a couple of gig of textures and materials and so on, and it's kind of just refining all those textures. What else is going on? Let's have a look. Tutorial probably coming out tomorrow is how to have a high poly character and bring it down into a low poly character, where it can be kind of like a low poly version where you can actually animate with, and then when it comes time to render, you switch the meshes out, and then you've got that high poly mesh, which makes life a lot easier. At the moment, this scene, so the scene 1 is starting to become a little bit unworkable, but I think that's probably because the characters are just, the textures are so high, the mesh is so high, so I'm going to kind of dial that back a little bit as well. What else we got? Carlos, welcome, buddy. So that's Monday night. Tuesday night is HDRI Maker. Oh my goodness. I look forward to showing that off. And then Wednesday, hopefully we'll do another live stream. Thursday, we will... very short tutorial, like a minute long, which actually I've had a few people ask me. So I was able to work that out. Oh, come on, Blender. Is Blender still working? Blender, are you still working is the big question. Performance. Nope. View. That one? Oh no, I guess Blender's still working. Hasn't died yet. Green cup, and I've already drank all my water, which is rather smart. Alright, let's have a look. That's fine. Come on, Blender. Far out. Every stinking time. Should have done this off stream. Where else are we going? We are on target to hit 25,000 before the end of the year, which is really good. So hopefully that the curve continues. There it is. Okay, done. So let me just go Control S to save, and there we go. So now we've got all our materials in, and then it's going to come time to start working on little bits of extra pieces as well. Actually, I'm not a fan of that black. We'll probably change that a little bit later on. This glass here is annoying me. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe what we'll do is maybe separate these two meshes. I just don't understand why and what's going on there. So you can see here we've got, oh, far out. It's always something. We can see that this bit here. What's this then? What's this then? So that's not right there. So maybe this little trick that I've discovered, we might use it on that section there. Still annoyed about this glass. I haven't been able to work it out. So if I were to go assign, that bit there will not go away. Assign. Assign. Far out. Thank you, Mr. Carlos. So this bit here is very frustrating. I don't understand what is going on. Maybe let's jump over into the UV editor and let's kind of start thinking about the process. What is going on? So if we have a look at this, we can see that that is completely off. So let's just go Smart UV Project. That's looking a little bit better. Now if we go back into the layout mode, that's what it was. It was the fact that that wasn't right. All right, let's grab this section in here. Let's grab this and this. We've got all that edge there. This would be car paint. Ah, far out. Okay, so I think this edge in here needed to be glass. There we go. Nice. All right, we fixed that problem. Lovely jubblies. So we've got wonderful about 16 people in here. I have made a big investment into my studio, which is me here. It's not really a studio, but let's continue on. I have bought a motion capture suit. It's expensive, but I've spoken to my financial advisor, my wife, and I have been given the approval to buy a motion capture suit. So hopefully, I actually don't know where it's coming from, but hopefully sometime soon it'll be here. Hopefully within the next week or two, which would be good. All right, so what are we looking at? We're looking at fabrics. I mean, we can put maybe a leather on. So we got fabric leather, maybe a really dark leather, maybe like something like this. And we'll replace this fabric in here. And so that's not too bad. What I'm going to do is just go into edit mode. Let's maybe increase the size to 0.5. Yeah, that's not too bad in here. Under here, this section here, let's kind of grab that and we'll turn that into a sort of like a dull metal, because it'll be there, but we're not actually going to be seeing it. So let's come into here and let's go add new. There we go. So this is one thing I don't really like about the car, is that we've got this whole empty space in here. So I mean, like, it's a very wide car. Like, that is super wide. So maybe what we'll do is we'll create kind of like some sort of plastic greebling in here. Yeah, let's go like that. All right, so let's grab this section in here. What I'm going to do is select these areas and probably that area there. I'm going to Shift D. Let's go GZ. I'm just going to move it up ever so slightly. Tab into edit mode. Whoops, sorry. P, separate by selection. And then we can select that. GZ, hold control and just move it up a little bit. And then from here we can do kind of like a little bit of work on it. So I'm going to do Control R and bring it in a bit, because I want to bring it in off this little whirl. So let's go delete those vertices. And we'll do the same for here. And probably here. So we can get kind of rid of these sections in here. Delete edges. Whoops. Delete vertices. And then we'll do the same for this section up in here. Delete vertices. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an edge loop in here to make this section up here a little bit crisper. like so, Control R. And all I'm doing is just putting in edge loops. Let's just put on screencast keys just in case somebody has questions about what I'm doing. Let's move it over to that side because I know my head's probably in the way. All right, cool bananas. And so the reason why I moved it all the way up and I used it in object mode because now I can do G, Z and hold snapping. And now that will snap right back into position. However, the carpet's still above. So let's maybe just select everything. G to the Z, bring it up. Why is that? So let's come into here. Do I have a solidify modifier or something on? Mirror, subdivision. What is this? Ah, silly marker. All right, so let's go put an edge loop through here. And then I'm going to probably purge this area in here. So let's deselect this with C middle mouse button to deselect. And we're going to delete vertices. I think vertices is the wrong one. Sure was. So let's maybe do that. Now go delete vertices. And then we got that section in there. Bring that there. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. So from here, let's kind of select this edge, Control B to do a bevel. And then middle mouse, and we'll kind of scroll that up. I'm going to select these three, Control B. Something like that. And then just trying to think. Let's deselect these edges. Whoops. Did that deselect the edges? Nope. So let's deselect these edges, deselect these edges. Interface, let's deselect all this. And then I can go E to extrude on the Z axis, just up a little bit. Oops, I missed one. There we go. And so what this has done is kind of created some riffles in the plastic. So if we come back into that kind of mode, what kind of plastic should we have it? Should we have it as... No, I want to change that. Let's change it to maybe like a black plastic. Do we have a black plastic happening? Emerger, welcome. Headache, Crab Panther. Oi, oi, oi. Good sir. Oi, oi, oi to you indeed. So let's grab the plastic. Let's maybe just convert this to plastic. So let's go plastic 04. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think this should be some sort of... kind of like a gray plastic material. So maybe we get rid of it. New material. And we'll call this plastic int for the interior. Base color is going to be a dark gray so we can still see what's happening in there. Specularity, we'll bring that down. Roughness comes up. Metallic, I don't really want anything. But what we might do, let's give it a little bit of flair. If I come in here and select this, Shift D and Z to duplicate, and then drag it forward. I'm just going to scale this on the Y. No, that didn't like that. So maybe if we grab these edges and just go GG, GG, and that double G tap moves it along the edges. And I'm going to grab, oops, I'm just going to grab this. Let's go GZ, move it back down. And we'll put a bevel in there, Control B to do another bevel. Just move it to the edge, Control B. There we go. Now what am I doing here? So if I do Control L, now I've selected everything. Let's come back into the materials. I'm just going to add in another material. Let's find some sort of metal, O2, and assign. That's not too bad. Seems a little bit dark. Let's try metal 10. Yeah, I'll accept that. U, smart UV project, Oakley Dokley, GZ. Delete faces. Kind of just to break that up a little bit. I think this bit here as well might need to be plastic. So let's grab this outer section. That's not what I selected. That outer section, and I'm going to grab, is there not an outer section in there? There we go. And that one there, new material, let's select, I think I called it plastic int, assign. Then we come back into here, and then we can see that we've got that kind of border, and then it goes into the carpet, and then goes back into the plastic. Hello, I can't say your name. I don't know, I can't read that. All right, what do we got? Steering wheel. So this is looking all good, all fancy. I do like the console. I think that maybe if we jump over into UV editing, we can really see the normals coming out of it. So if I go tab into edit mode, you can really see that it's really bumpy. So I'm just going to select that and maybe scale it by 3 on the UV. And there we go. That seems a lot better. Let's just select everything. Smart UV project. Nice. Because I'm not scale by 2. 3. Because I'm not really concerned about the UV maps, what they look like. It's not going to be a game. I'm letting it go kind of very freely. Yeah, I do like that. Can I select these, or are they all together? That's all together, you jerk. You idiot. Let's come back into layout, tab to into edit mode. Let's press that and go into loop cut. I'm going to hold Alt right click and kind of we're going to try and grab all the way around like so, and we're going to do that to all 3 of the steering wheel columns like so. There we go. Oh, why am I doing this? You idiot. So I've done this roughly pretty much the hard way, because that's not exactly what I want to do. I want to go into face mode, so I can press 3 to go into face mode. Alt right click, and that selects the edge loop. Done. Look how much easier that was. Let's create a new material. I want that metal that we've got downstairs, which is number 10, and assign. Yes, smart UV project. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. JSM 2137. Nice to see your real workflow. Does it happen to you that when you put on simple cloth with wind to a middle or big scene, it becomes unusual? So there's ways of working around it, and I kind of want to do a tutorial on it. It depends what you're trying to do with the cloth. Obviously, like with a high poly character, if this was going to be my collision mesh, that would slow the scene right down. So what you can do is actually fake it and put cylinders around his arms, and then the actual cloth interacts with those cylinders, which will actually speed up the workflow. Who's got a tutorial on it? I think there's a tutorial by Chris Holt. He goes into that fairly well. I might do it and put my own spin on it, but he's got a good one. Let me just go. I think it's Cloth Sim. Chris Holt Cloth Sim. Chris Holty. That's the one there. Character cloth simulation in Blender 2.8. So that's the one you're after. All right. So back into there. So that's looking nice. The steering wheel kind of building on there. What material is this? This is leather 06, and obviously I think the outside of this should be leather 06. So I'm going to grab all that and the interior here. Let's create a new material, and we'll type in leather. We've got leather 06 and assign. Let me just check the scales. No good. So let's go use Smart UV project. All right. And then from here, we come into UV editing, select that, and probably maybe 3. Just so I'm just kind of roughly eyeballing, trying to match this, like these size dots with these. Maybe we can go a little bit bigger. Let's go times 2. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's maybe just select that, hide. So these cuts are actually in there on purpose, because that's kind of like when you are actually pulling apart a console, all the consoles always have a split. Yes, yeah, it's probably always smart to bake the simulation, and then you can get away with it. I completely agree. Because then the cloth isn't simulating every time you're moving it. So bake it first as well. Steering wheel column. Actually, it's not too bad on the grey. What I might do is grab this face. Shift D, Z. Actually, P, separate by selection. And I just want to grab that center console. Come on. Come on, buddy. G to the Z, hold control so it snaps up. And now we can work on it. Let's come into here. And I'm going to go into front view like this. Let's go 1. Shift S, cursor to selected. And so now what I'm going to do is kind of create a dashboard. But the scene is too high poly and it becomes too hard. I think you got problems then. I would probably try and clean it up or something. Or you got too much, the cloth is too dense. So if you need to, don't make it so dense, bake it and then put in the subsurf after the cloth simulation. Have I heard of Joe? I have not heard of Joe. I've done several layers with the layers. Are you on 2.79? Sean. Hey, Sean. Oh, there you are, Sean. That's to get around having. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Maybe try the simplify option. Turn the viewport down. Would that work? All right, so let's go back to this. Sorry, I had a moment of thinking. Let's create a circle, rotate X 90 degrees. Let's scale that in. And so what we're doing is kind of, it'll be our speedo and our rev meter, the RPM number. Oh gosh, if you only knew what I was going to say. All right, so from here, I'm going to kind of grab this, probably these vertices here. Whatevs. I'm going to select that one as well. Let's do a Control B to do a bevel. So something like that. I've got my edges selected. I can go 3 to go into face mode. I can press Control I to invert my selection. Shift right click to deselect that. Delete faces. There we go. So now I've got that. Control I. Come on, where are you? And then I can go G to the X, hold Control to snap. Ooh. Oops. Let's come into the medium point. Let's rotate this. Lovely. When I come back up into our pivot point, 3D cursor, Shift D to duplicate, scale X -1. There we go. So now we've got it on both sides. Nice. Nice. All right. So, okay. Am I on the, okay, now I'm facing the right way. So let's do everything. And then we're going to, that was an interesting crutch shot. G to the Y. And let's E to extrude. Let's go N to flip the normals. Shift N to flip the normals. E to extrude. GY. Oh, get stuffed. GY. Shift N. E to extrude. Scale X. Alright, so to obviously the normals you can see are being jerks. What we can do is select up here. In edit mode, we can see which is the direction of the normals. I've got faces on both sides by the looks of it. So I can go with all that selected, Alt M, merge by distance. Okay, no worries. Control L, scale on the Y, 0. Alt M, merge by distance. There we go. Shift N. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's work backwards then. This is the behavior you want to give me, Blender. Let's select all that. Control L. I'm going to E to extrude. Doesn't really work, does it? Let's undo that. Medium point? Wow, how bizarre was that? Okay, G to the Y. Don't know what that was about. I'm going to delete those back faces because I don't really need them. I'm going to get rid of those normals. There we go. And so let's kind of go these 4. And these 6, I want them to be kind of like a red illumination to say, no, 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 don't go. So our base color will be red. Oh no, sorry. Let's go principal shader. We'll change that to emission because I want it to actually pop out. So something like that. Maybe go 3. And I'm going to hit assign. And so we'll call this red M. Assign. Control I, deselect that. Oh, ploppers. Let's undo all that. Control L, select all them. Assign. Control I to invert our selection. Have the back plate. New material. Change that to that thing. Emission. Might go like a nice light blue to say, hey, it's okay to be in this section. There we go, and assign. And then if we come into this rendered view, oh, dun 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 dun. No, I haven't heard of Joe. Maybe try simplify and down. Yep, Joma. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Just. It's Cody. I was talking about the view layers in the top right, not the collections. Right. I haven't really played around with the layers. Where are they? They're over here somewhere. Where are you? I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what they look like. However, they're eluding me. I don't know. Oliver, welcome, buddy. So I do like that. What are we going to do here? So with this backboard, it is normally a black material. So let's keep it black. Just thinking. You know what? I'm not actually too concerned because in the actual film, we're not going to see that much of it. But I kind of do want to keep all that together. So now that because of the way I moved it, I can go G to the Z, hold control. Okay, let's scroll out a little bit. G to the X, G to the Z, and now that should be sitting directly. Hey, let's come into there. Let's select that face, delete faces, and then we can come in here. Select all, G to the Y, and we can kind of just slowly move that out. Whereabouts? To about there, it shall say. See, that's not too bad. I'm glad I fixed this. Tiles, I can't remember how to make treads. But I mean, all in all, that car's not looking too bad. This front end's a little bit annoying, but we're not really going to see it, so I'm not too concerned. Let's maybe rig this up. Because in the film, the character's kind of standing there on the corner. Let's actually bring up the blend scene. Right click, let's open up our scene 1. I'm all out of water. Water. You know, water. Bing, bam, wada, boom. Ow. So yeah, in the scene there, the character's at the back here. Oh, jeez, that's loud. So I was kind of like, this is where the point where I was talking about the characters are really like, there's a lot of, it's hard. So hence why the purchase of the motion capture suit. In trying to hope to speed up that workflow. So this was obviously my test footage, my reference footage I was using up here in the top right hand corner. Now you can see a 3D print in the back, and you can see a wonderful Olaf there that my daughter painted. So this is what the scene's going to be look like. So the character's going to be working in this back rear section. So what we need to do is work out a way to pull that up. What we might simply do is let's just create an armature. So Shift S, cursor build origin, Control A. Let's create an armature single bone. Let's go tab into edit mode like this. Let's rotate 90 degrees. Kind of want to rotate that on the bottom there. So let's go into pivot point, 3D cursor, rotate 90 degrees. I'm going to Shift D. And I mean, we can do this separately for anything else that comes up. I'm going to select our door. Let's select our edge. No, let's select our edge. Actually, let's select this vertex here, because this is where we're going to be rotating from. Shift S, cursor to selected. Let's grab this head. Shift S, selection to cursor. There we go. So we know that's now sitting in the right spot. I want to select our door. Actually, we'll select both of these. And select our armature last. I'm going to do Control P to parent with empty groups. Actually, first, let's maybe rename this bone just to make our life a little bit easier. This one will be boot. So that now when I go back into object mode, not pose mode, object mode, I can go 1, 2, 3. Control P to parent with empty groups. So that means now when I come down into here, we can select our vertex groups, and we've got our bone, which is the root bone, which is not what we want, but we want this one here. So now if I go tab into edit mode, select everything, I want to assign the all this mesh to the boot, and then we're going to do the same here for the frame to the boot. And now, if I come into pose mode, whoops, Alt G, I can rotate on the X-axis, and there we have it. We've got a boot. That is slightly annoying with the shot, because I'm thinking about the shot now, because originally it was framed like this. Unless it's a wide shot, we'll see this character fine. This character might not be seen too well. That's fine. I'll just make the character move. But there we go. That's how we're opening up the back. So now if I go Shift S, I need to go back and re-import the car. Do I? I think I do, because I'm on a different file than it originally came from. Let's just Alt H. Go back into object mode, Alt H. And so you can see that's how we can quickly rig stuff. All right, what else we got? So the car's looking nice. I think I might leave it as is. I've done every. Oh, let's rig the doors. Let's rig the doors while we're at it. Alt R. Dang it. Dang it. Let's maybe go edit mode. Dang it. Alt R, Alt G. Alt R, Alt G. Good thing I was that smart. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my mirror modifier. So now I've got two doors. And I'm going to grab probably these vertices here. Shift S, sorry, just had a brain fart. Cursor to selected. Let's select that armature. Let's go back into edit mode. And then from here, I can go Shift D, G, Z. We'll just kind of line that up. And then select the tail, Shift S, cursor, selection to cursor. So it's sitting there. And this bone here will be called door_L. So left side of the car. And then let's come back over into here. Select these two vertices, Shift S, cursor to selected. Let's maybe select that bone, Shift D, X. It's going to kind of go something like that. Shift S, selection to cursor, and that kind of mirrors it. This will be our door_right. Cool bananas. Let's go into object mode. Let's select this, and that, and the armature last. Control P, parent objects with empty groups, so that now when we go into, when we select these, I can go tab into edit mode, select both of them. Whoops. Control L now. We can assign this to door L. Control L. Ploppers. Let me assign the mirror modifier on this one. Apply the mirror modifier, sorry. Control L. In here, this would be our door right. And then what I'm going to do is, because this is actually still mirrored from this, so it would have all its settings for the left-hand door, I'm going to select the door left and remove. So now if we go into object mode, if we go into the armature, pose mode, rotate Z, whoops, medium point, rotate Z. Maybe it's because we can't do it at the same time. You can't do two meshes at the same time. Maybe that's what the problem was. So let's select that. Door L, assign. Control L. Door right, assign. Remove that one. And then let's quickly just select that one, and that'll be door right. Back into there. Pose mode. Rotate Z. Yeah, suck a lemon. Select that, rotate Z. Beautiful. Excellent. So there we go. Now we can just open up those doors once again. Fat doors that open. Oh, yeah. So the way the scene starts off with, it's the roar of the engine and then failing. And she's kind of like looking over it, trying to, well, it's actually changed now. Looking over the engine, like being frustrated. And then it's him starting to kind of give it to him. So that's the whole like layout of the scene. It'll probably always be open. But anyway. So with the boot open, let's just have a look what it looks like. I did put some red light, pipes. Spicy. Yeah, the wheels, definitely. I can't remember how to do treads. I got to go research that, and then I'll make a video on how to do treads again. But I know it's kind of like the array modifier, but that always screws me up, and that's why I created the array modifier tutorials, predominantly for me, because I keep forgetting on how to do it. So yeah, let's go Control S. Let's save that. Let's move on. Let's go File, Open Recent, Garage. Don't save that. There we go. So now we're back into here. This is obviously an old I think this is pointing to my original blend file. Maybe. I don't know what it's pointing at. So there we have it. All right, so let me show you what the scene looks like. I think probably what we'll do is we'll work on the fridge over here. I love these boxes. I'm actually pretty chuffed about the boxes. Oh, far out. Brussels sprout. All right. So what's happened is, as I explained before at the start of the stream, motherboard died from my old PC. From my new PC, have to go back to my old PC. However, the textures aren't lining up. So let's just do Control S, File, External Data, Find Missing Files. Let's go to my PBR Library and click Find Missing Files. All right, so this is going to go for a bit. So what else is going on? I went nuts, went crazy, and spent on buying a Perception Neuron motion capture suit. So let me show you what that one is. Perception Neuron version 2, which is this lovely system, which I'm pumped on getting. Is there any? Oh, just go back here. Come on, hurry up. While Blender's going, it's going to take a little bit as it's searching through that massive database of all the images. However, now it's being a jerk. Oh, that's cool. All right, it's not showing. Oh well, anyway. So this is the one. It's not an actual motion capture suit. It's more the where you got all the sensors and you just kind of strap it to your body. However, it's not really showing, unfortunately. This one here, maybe. Let's have a look. Yeah, like this chap. Not like that chap. I don't know. Anyway. So, bought a motion capture suit. Hopefully that will speed up the process now of animating. Hopefully we just only have to clean up the data a smidgen. I'll probably just be recording it in this room, which is fine. I wrote it specifically so that there isn't a lot of movement. It is more story based. However, the characters can be animated and move around, because initially I was going to be doing it with the Oculus Rift, but I kind of want a little bit more. So, and the other thing is I'm on my old computer, which doesn't run the Rift very well. What else we got? So we've got that. We've got Ian Hubert's done the voice, and that's kind of come together. Actually, if I bring up Vegas, scene 1 raw. So still playing around with the audio. There's kind of a bit of background noise in both of ours. However, that'll be cleaned up in post, as we'll be putting in like ambient sounds to kind of cover it. Got to go through and put in the kind of like the fade in, the fade outs. But this is pretty much what we got. Kind of want to rework that one. This bit needs to be redone. This one definitely needs to be done differently. So yeah, that's pretty much what the scene will be. It'll be, this one will be very quicker. That's a word. The first scene will be a lot quicker. The second one will be kind of building up that tension between the characters, and then that oh, you're freaking kidding me. No sound. Okay. You suck. Well, that was great one then, wasn't it? So let me just quickly see if I can fix that up. Streaming. Done. This thing. Oh. No, don't know. Oh well, sorry. Anyway, there's the audio. There's little bits and pieces from that need to be edited and so on and so forth. Dang it. Stinking Streamlabs. And Blender's still going, so this is probably going to take a bit. What sounds really Chris saying Freeman BG, no sound. Yes, that sucks. Oh, from Ian, there was no sound. How does that work? Okay, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, anyway, so that's what's going on. I was going to work on this scene. Blender, are you finished? Nope, Blender's still going. What else is happening? So that's what's going on. A few tutorials coming out as always. What? Ah. Right. Right. Oh, that add-on. Alright, so that add-on's broken. I gotta re-download it from Blender Market. So anyway, there's another light stuff that goes around it. But if we come in here, we can see that it's all wonderful purple. Can I change the world? Let me just quickly get out of here. Come into object, come into world settings, atmosphere. I just want to change that to discard it. There we go. Just for now. Let's just do that. Just so we can actually see what... Oh, far out. Come on, Blender. There we go. Alright, let's go. And so this is what the scene is going to look like. There's obviously going to be an orange light coming through here. That's a lot better. Brian, welcome, good sirs. So that's what's going on. Let's select this. Let's hide the exterior. Let's maybe select this and let's kind of just put on a few materials. Far out. Why are you busting my chops? There we go. Okay. And so let's kind of work backwards. I'm going to select this to be a metal color. The outside, actually we'll grab Control L. That's that whole housing. And maybe Control L here, this whole housing. Let's duplicate that. New material, let's call this yellow paint. I can spell paint. Base color, let's bring that to about there-ish. Let's click assign so we can start seeing what we're doing here. Specularity, I'm going to bring up. Roughness, I'm going to bring down. Metallic, just a smidgen. And there we go. We kind of got this effect that, you know, it probably goes into the car. What else we got? I know we had to work on this fridge. Because we weren't too... You. Hide. 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 Because we were trying to work on this, however, it just didn't seem nice. Let's go into shader. Oh, ploppers. Alright, let's come down into our materials. World, let's go into object. As Minecraft characters would say. Roughness. Let's probably bring the roughness up a smidgen. I'm going to make this section in here probably a black, a new material. And let's go black glass. But it's going to be more just a dark color. Whoops, click assign so we can actually see what we're doing. Black color. Let's go specularity up, metallic up, roughness down. Just to give it some contrast. This bit down here will be new material, and we'll call this metal 10. Do I have 10? No, we've got 21. So let's go UV project. There we go. Use local view. Are we talking about numberhead 5? No, that's orthographic perspective. Oh, yes, you stupid idiot. I keep forgetting about that. Yep. There's a tire tutorial in my Discord. I've got Discord turned off because I'm going to check that out. Well, let's just crack it open. And if you want, jump over onto my Discord. Link in the bottom description. Okay. There were some wonderful plates that we made. Let me just quickly jump over into here. Showcases. Shadowcat, well done. Tutorial, beautiful attire. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mega Wilson. Mega Wilson. All right. What else we got? So you can see that I've got random splotches everywhere. And what that does is it kind of like breaks up the texture of the walls. Even here, I've got kind of these greeble things happening. I've got lots of, dirt patches or oil patches on the ground. And that's just an easy way of breaking up the scene a bit. I'm even able to put it on stairs. And that was using a skin modifier on the stairs themselves. That's just some chests that we created. What else we got? That's not too bad. Galvanized steel, yeah. Gotta find these posters. Far out. I think that's the big thing that needs to be done. What can we do over here? What's this material? Concrete. Let's go concrete. So I'm going to come over into Extreme PBR Materials. Concrete 2. That one. Remove and add. Let's go Smart UV project. Oakley dokley. Oh, far out blender. There we go. And then let's come down into UV scale. Go 0.25. Yeah, nice. Let's go Alt H just so we can see what everything looks like. Nice. I think I might even grab this building. Definitely this building. We'll do the same. A different concrete texture. So let's select all that. Smart UV project. There we go. Concrete. That one. Remove and add. Come on, boy. There we go. And then we will change the scale to probably 0.25. Ugh. No. Oh. Yuck. Oh, jeez. That one. Okay. Ah, jeez. There we go. So these are things. So this is actually off a greeble pack that I've got. I think it's for car parts. And so this is some sort of like an engine block type arrangement that I kind of just stole from there. I'm just going to grab these bolts and then we'll probably grab that frame in there. Control L. Done. Excuse me. Let's go metal. O2. Let's assign that. And this here as well. We will assign that. There we go. So it kind of looks like as if they're braces, and we might do the same here. Nope, we won't do the same there. Maybe this face, Control L. Weird. Control L. Yeah, let's do that one. Assign. Yeah, that's cool, bananas. And then we'll do the same for something over here. Let's select that. Control L. New material, and we'll call this one metal, and we'll select the previous material. Assign. And let's kind of grab that. I kind of want to get an edge loop in there. There we go. And we will assign that one as well. Oh yeah. Not too shabby. So if I go into the camera view, let's go rotate Z and down the street. Yeah, the lighting's not set up properly because I got to reinstall the add-on, which I can't remember what it's called, but I've got it on the Blender Market. And yeah, maybe some books. Yes, some books. Books. I do have books. I do have access to books. That's a good idea. I don't need to make them because I know where to get them from. So, light tutorial. Welcome, Deanimate TV. Danimate TV. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're on both. So, yes. So this will be all background. I'll probably end up doing, so when I'm in camera view, I'll probably put a mist. So you probably can't see all the way down the street. You know, maybe like a 20-30% fog to the back there. And then I might put one or two characters just loitering around the back, especially because most of the scene, just go into here. Most of the scene will be kind of like this shot here. And also probably, so we zoomed on this character and then eventually it'll go into maybe something like here-ish. So tight on this character and then right click and a tight on the character here. And then eventually this character is being planned on to move over and sit on the steps. And then in the second scene, when the other character walks in, I'll probably have one character at the table, one still working on the car, and then it'll probably pan into a wrench here, and that's what's being picked up by the third person. And then kind of that's how that scene kicks off. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we have tutorial hopefully coming out tomorrow for having a high poly character and bring it down to a low poly character so we can animate it a lot easier. Tuesday will be another Blender add-on. Wednesday will hopefully be a live stream, and might not be. I'm not too sure about Wednesday because I'm kind of at a bit of a freeze until I get the motion capture suit, because I don't want to start animating and then just redo it all. What's the point? Thursday will be a very quick tutorial on exporting FBX. That's going to be really cool. And then we'll probably just go back into stuff live stream on Sunday. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you very much, guys. I much appreciated. And I will see you guys probably next week. So if you can, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, share the channel around. Help me grow. And